What's going on, everybody? So today I kind of have just a more casual video than normal. I just wanted to chat a little bit, talk about the triple stat legendary items, what we're doing in the game now, as well as just kind of the stall position that everyone is at, just because we are approaching that level 480. Now, first things first, I wanted to mention a couple things. First off, I read your comments, guys. No gray shirt today. No gray shirt today. I have like 20 of them or something like that. So for those of you that were wondering, definitely different shirts every day. It's just that I have a million gray shirts. It's increasing as I'm speaking, honestly. Second thing is I'm trying to get to 480. The other day I had to actually take my dog to the emergency room. So I actually ran out of time to grind the game. I've been a little bit distracted recently, but we're on the grind again here. I'm only a couple levels below. I'm at 475 and the server Paragon's 478, so I should be by 480 by tonight. I have saved my Heliquary, so I'll be able to do that as I get closer to the end of the day. That way I can use it for the lower XP amounts that I'll be on. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, is with the recent release of the drop rates for legendary items, we could actually kind of calculate a theoretical amount of legendaries and time that we would need in order for us to go ahead and get a full triple stat gear or set, right? Because 480 is tomorrow in terms of server Paragon level, which means that in order to get to 600, which is the next one for Hell 8, that's going to be 120 total levels, which is 60 days in server, but most people will go ahead and be a little bit faster than that. So about 55 days is what I would say is when we'll start to see, assuming they don't nerf the Heliquary raids, because in my opinion, not that they should nerf it, but it doesn't make sense on how it works, right? When you're doing any other piece of content in the game, all XP is reduced by the server, whatever level you're at, whereas the Heliquary raid gives you the base amount, so that's very strange. But maybe we'll get it in about 53 days or so is when we unlock Hell 8. So we have 53 days of grinding Hell 7, right? 53 days, and that's a lot. Okay, that is a lot. That's almost 2 months of us just doing the exact same thing, or running around and potentially pre-farming Hell 8. That is possible, right? We could be pre-farming Hell 8 and be doing that for the next 53 days. But if we wanted to do that, well, how many legendary items would we need to actually get, on average, that amount of triple stats? Assuming that we're on server Paragon level, the drop rate is about 3% total, right? We have a 2% drop rate of the lower triple stat pieces, and then a 1% drop rate of the higher triple stat pieces, as we saw from that video yesterday, right? And let me see if I can pull that up for you guys here, just to give you guys a brief reminder of that. So as we mentioned the other day, we're going to need about the same server Paragon level as the server level to get our same drop rate, because as we start to drop below, we're going to get more base legendary items. Technically, we're not going to get less triple stats, but this helps with the math just a little bit, right? So we're going to get 82% chance getting the 2 out of 3, and then that 3% chance total to get a 3 out of 3. Assuming you're at the server level. So based on the legendary drops that we're going to get, 3% of them are going to be that triple stat. So if that is the case, how long will it take us to get 6 triple stat items in both set items and legendary items? How long does it really take to max out in Hell 8 or Hell 7? Let's pull up a calculator here and let's do some brief calculator couch math here. We have, let's say you're getting, let's be generous here and say you're getting about 5 legendaries per hour, right? So if you're getting 5 legendaries per hour, how long would it take? Assuming you're able to farm, let's say 100 legendary items, you get 3 of those out of 100 are going to be your triple stat, right? Because that's a 3%er. So that means that if we get 100 legendary items and we get 5 legendaries per hour, that means that we divide it by 5. It's going to take 20 hours, right? To get 3 triple stat pieces. That's assuming that you don't get any dupes, right? Because you can get a dupe, like double helmet, double chest piece, double sword, double helmet, whatever. But that's only just to get 3. Now you have to multiply that by 4 because you need 12, right? So you need 80 hours minimum, assuming you get the right piece at the right time. At 5 legendary items per hour, you need to farm for 80 hours straight just to get 12 triple stat pieces. Okay, but then we have to factor in the fact that, well, you have to not get a dupe, which that's when the math starts getting a lot more complicated. And perhaps I'll do that for another video, but I can't really do it off the top of my head in this random calculator that I pulled up. So we're talking 80 hours just to get 12 triple stat items at 5 legendary items per hour. Again, I included set items in that because it's 12, right? So we're gonna get 6 legendary, 6 set items. So when I say 5 legendary items, I mean 5 set items slash 5 legendary items per hour. 5 set items per hour is lucky, okay? 5 set items per hour is gonna be really tough to get. If we're considering 5 set items and we're basing off of the average drop rate of set items, we're looking at like 2 set items per hour at maximum if you're crafting as well. And if we're getting 2 set items per hour, right? Well, let's say we farm for 100 hours, or let's say we farm, you know, again, 100, let's say 100 set items. That's gonna get you 3 triple stats. So you need 200 set items to get the 6 triple stats that you need. 200 set items at 2 an hour. It's gonna put you at 100 hours. So realistically, we're looking at about 140 hours of grinding sets and legendaries just to get enough pieces to even have the chance of getting 12 triple stat pieces, right? Because set items are much harder to grind for. And this obviously isn't perfect math because you can get legendaries in dungeons and that could, you know, change things up a little bit. The point is that you have to grind a lot to get these triple stats, okay? And again, we're looking at really high estimates, right? 5 legendary items per hour is on the higher side. Usually you're gonna look at 3, anywhere from 2 to 6, to be honest, right? 6 is gonna be if you're like hardcore running Realm of Damnation for an hour straight with a group of 4 and you're massively magic find out like 90%. 2 is looking like, oh, you may be ship farming like I'm doing right now and you don't have 90% magic find and you're just relaxing, right? So if we're grinding, let's say 140 hours and we spend, let's be generous here and say you're grinding about 6 hours per day. So we're looking at 6 hours per day at 140 hours. Looks like an orange elite spawn for us. There we go. 140 hours divided by 6 puts us at 23 days. So if you grind for 6 hours a day, we're talking 6 hours of, you know, let's say open world farming, 6 hours of dungeon farming. We're not talking about 6 hours of playing the game. We're talking about 6 hours of actually grinding these specific spots that are going to give you the best options, which most people don't do. Let's say you do it. You're going to need minimum 23 days to prep for Hell 8. Minimum, right? Assuming we're talking about like the, well, I should say minimum because we're basing it off the maximum drops per hour while also not getting too unlucky, right? Because you could also get dupes, which would extend the time crazy amounts of time. So if you started farming today in Hell 8, there's no guarantee that you're gonna get maxed out triple stats. And this isn't even to talk about, as far as I've heard, Hell 8 offers quad stat items now. As far as I've heard. I've not done Hell 8 yet, so I can't confirm that. But I've heard some rumors that Hell 8 drops quad stat gear. And there was no math in that calculator to tell us if quad stat gear was a thing. As far as I saw, at least. So we're at this point where we're at this limbo stage where we just unlocked Hell 7 in terms of Paragon level. When I mention unlock, I mean the server Paragon level is going to catch up. Right now it's 478, so by tomorrow or tonight it's going to be 480. So everyone, assuming you're in Hell server Paragon level, will be unlocking the gear for it, and so we'll be able to go ahead and probably progress to Hell 7. And that means that we have 2 months of pre-farming Hell 8 gear. That's going to be the goal for almost everyone here. Most people are going to want to start pre-farming Hell 8 as soon as possible. And to be honest, if you're trying to max out what the maximum stats you can get when you're getting Hell 8, you're probably going to want to start now. But I'd recommend probably farming Hell 7 for quite some time, because who knows if they're going to release, you know, some content in those 2 months that might be needing some extra combat rating. So you're going to want to cap out as much Hell 7 combat rating as you possibly can. At least that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to probably be farming Hell 7 for a little while, and then I'll transition to Hell 8 as we get closer, probably in like 3 weeks from now. It's probably when I'll start farming Hell 8. Because I do want to pre-farm, and as we kind of did the rough math here, very rough math, it's going to be ridiculously long finished off. So, I don't know, guys, I just wanted to make a video about this, just chatting a little bit about Hell 7, Hell 8, and talk about what's going on for the next month or two. That's pretty much everything that's in our future at this point. We need to go ahead and get a bunch of gear ready for Hell 8, and Hell 8's really the only goal. So, you know, that's kind of what everyone's striving for. And so I wanted to just see what that kind of looked like in terms of time spent to kind of get those triple stats that we need. Let me know if you guys enjoyed by some of the channel, liking this video, guys, if you did enjoy our little chat. I know some people get really mad over me just talking, but that's what I like to do. So hopefully you guys did as well. And if you did, I'll see you all tomorrow.